Okay, so we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order at noon. And Sue, will let you do that. Roll call.
Councilmember Cease.
Here.
Councilmember Chambers.
Here.
I'm sorry, board members.
I'm here.
Board member Cease. Board member Chambers.
Here.
Board member Lintemoot.
Here.
Board member Davis.
Here.
We had board members Doyle, DeVore, and Wakeman are all absent, and Chair Reagan.
Here. So we need a motion to approve those in attendance.
Motion to approve.
Lori, is there a second?
I'll second.
Martha, and all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And we also need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Rick, is there a second?
Second.
Lori, any changes or corrections to the agenda? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay, so we just approved the agenda, and we'll move on to the approval of the minutes from the previous meeting from July 7. We need a motion to approve the minutes from July 7.
Motion to approve them.
Lori, is there a second?
Seconded.
Nicole, any corrections or changes to the minutes? If none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Treasurer's report. Sue?
The DDA currently has $798,109.85. Just some highlights from the last meeting. Capital outlay paid so far consists of $5,577 to Ally for the DDA restrooms, and Youngstrom contractors for Valley Vista. That was $81,248. Additionally, the debt service to Lowell Light and Power has been paid in full as well for High Street.
I should say that Valley Vista budget, including engineering costs, it came in about $30,000 less than we had budgeted. So that's pretty good, which will allow us to our later discussion.
Any other questions for Sue on the treasurer's report? Need a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
Motion to approve.
Lori, is there a second?
I'll second.
Martha, any further discussion on that? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Public comments for items not on the agenda? Brandon, you have nothing? Move on to old business. Anything to hold, Mike?
Valley Vista came in, like I said, about $30,000 lower than budgeted. We're generating, revenue-wise, about $150 a month from the chargers per month on average. Some months 200 roughly, but on average it's about $150 a month. I had my first charging experience a couple of weeks ago, and the chargers we have are fine, but when those do become obsolete, we probably would want to go to a faster charging station, but that's beside the point.
So there was a complaint on,
There's no complaints, but I noticed that those types of charging stations, they don't charge as fast as the DC superchargers do. I don't know how much more they cost, but I learned quite a bit through this. I drove to Columbus, Ohio on an electric vehicle, one of the city electric vehicles, and I learned a lot about charging that I didn't know until I actually started doing that. So.
And what's the life expectancy of these?
Probably about 5 years,
Okay.
5-6 years.
So in 5 years, we may not have electric vehicles if we go back to gas. But
You never know. You never know. We may.
okay, enough of that. Wisecracks. Anything else?
No.
Old business? Okay, new business. Safety fence?
Yeah, before we get started, just kind of want to preface the issue we're having. So when we built the Strobo, couple of years back, there's some fencing in the area that the people involved, the Showboat Committee, they asked that we remove it. So we removed it. They felt it was a mistake thing. Well, last winter we had an incident where there was where the boat is and where it's, and then the seawall, sometimes there's about a 3-foot gap. And we had an incident last December where an adult fell into the area between the boat and the seawall. And we started out by addressing some of the safety concerns. We actually started putting some benches and arborvitaes in the area, kind of blocking the area. Well, the person who fell was not satisfied with that, and over the summer started sending letters to myself, police chief, Dan, wanting better security issues. So I brought out our insurance agent. I didn't need my insurance agent for something. And I explained to him, I showed him what the issue was. And his response to me was, he goes, there's no insurance requirement to do this, but from a risk management standpoint, you need to do this. So and I would say that was around July. And so that compelled me to start moving forward. So I went back to the new Showboat 6 organization and explained to them the situation. And I gave them some options as to what they wanted to do. I just said that we have to put a fence back. And so Dan can kind of talk to that, but they came back with some options, and then since then, maybe another thing has come up, but I'm going to have Dan talk about that. But we need to get this addressed. Quite frankly, we need to get this addressed expeditiously. I'd like to have it done before Christmas. So, and the lady actually came to the city council meeting Monday night wanting to know why nothing was being done.
Okay. Well, Mike explained the situation, so I'll jump down a little bit. Again, basically, yeah, there's that gap varies depending on the water level and such. The boat's tied up pretty tight right now, where it's about it was about 1.5 feet yesterday when we were out there. So but it's not a very big opening, but there is an opening. So trying to come up with an idea, we looked at a few options. One option presented before you is to take the existing fencing that's south of the boat and just continue back up through there like it was. That was about a $14,625 quote on that. And then there was talk of putting some different type of a fencing railing situation in front. The idea being not to take away from the aesthetics of the boat itself. And then and we got a quote on that of about $13,000. But since then, we also talked about taking that top, if you picture the boat, there's a very top part there where they put the post with the cable railing type look up there. Taking that type of a fence and putting it in front of the boat. The fencing would run basically between the gangplanks onto the boat. There's the major one on the south end for the commercial entrance, and then there's the middle one. And then from the middle one to the north one, and then also from the north one to the red rail that sits there behind where the stage sits. With the idea being then people can't walk into there. Unfortunately, I wasn't before today able to get a quote on the cable type fencing, which after discussing it with Liz and Carol some more, that's probably the most aesthetically pleasing of the fences to put up in there. And again, like Mike says, we're going to be expeditious on this. I've contacted those folks, and I've heard back from 2 of the 3 I contacted. I really expect some sort of a price quote any time now. And once we get that, we'll know exactly how much it is. And we're hoping today to at least get approval to go ahead with the fence at the higher cost here, not to exceed, and then hopefully the other one will come in less and we can put that one up instead.
You mentioned a cable fencing as opposed to this black.
Yeah.
It's what's up here.
Oh, way up there.
Way up there.
I see.
Am I right? It's what's...
Yes.
Yes.
So you're kind of going to see through it.
Yes, and then it'll match what's on the top part of the boat, and just bring that down. Yes, you can see through it. It won't distract from the look of the boat.
I like that idea.
And after talking with Liz and Carol about it, I like that idea too. I think that was, I guess I missed that when we first started talking about it, so my apologies, Liz. And but I think that's really a good way to do it. And again, I contacted the company that did that on the boat, and they assured me they'll give you something ASAP, but they haven't seen it before noon today, so.
So you'd like a motion to spend up to 14,000?
14,625. If you want to make it for 15, that'd be great, and we're good round number, good to go. Again, we're putting it in those three sections. It's 24, 48, 58, 66 feet of fencing by the time it's done, so it's not a whole lot, and so then it'll look just like what's on the boat.
And we have about $30,000 savings in the budget from the Valley Vista project, so it'll just be a capital project.
Okay, anybody want to make that motion?
Yeah, I'll move that we authorize up to 15,000 for the railing fix.
Second?
Second.
Lori? All those, or any further discussion on that? Again, it's probably an oversight, you know, but it needs to be done for safety, so I don't have this kind of problem with it at all either. Anybody else? Motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dan. Marketing update?
Yep, the DDA has received its annual marketing funds request from the Lowell area Chamber of Commerce. DDA has provided sponsorship for a number of years on these events. This year, the Chamber of Commerce is requesting $50,000 in sponsorship for this, and Liz is here to explain in better detail, but I'm recommending the Lowell Downtown Development Authority provide sponsorship to the Lowell area Chamber of Commerce at a cost not to exceed $50,000 for their marketing.
Hello. So yes, we have been doing this for a number of years, and the money that we get from, or for doing this, we spend it on radio. We haven't done very much TV cable in the past, and I'm not sure we'll go there, but a large majority of it, of course, is for our online marketing for social media, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, that sort of thing. And I think I did provide kind of an overview of the last couple of years from our marketing company that does that. And those ads perform very well, and we get a lot of RSVPs, and I think that you can see by the amount of people that come to our events, it's obviously working very well. Our strategy is to market around existing events, just because they're there and we want people to come in, have a good time, and hopefully they'll come back throughout the year and spend money here. We do a lot of video production in the last few years. We're looking at probably doing a little bit more of that, and we're being very conscious about the diversity issue as well. You know, that was brought to our attention, so I want you to be rest assured that we've acknowledged that and we will take care of that. We also would like to do a billboard campaign in this go around. Now that Lowell is open and all the places are open, we want to put some billboards out on the highway somewhere. Not sure how many. It's expensive marketing, but it would be a very simple message: discover Lowell, eat, play, shop. Very simple. Can't put a lot on a billboard. People don't pay attention to that. And then also, I think we put some money in there for promotional items and Lowell bucks and things like that. That's pretty much it as far as the marketing. We do ask the Lowell Area Community Fund for the $50,000 as well, so you would be a match. And then we do try to do some co-op marketing. We did that last year specifically with Lara, the Trails and North Country Trail. We run a really big ad in the book. It's a trails magazine that's phenomenal, and it goes throughout Michigan, so it has all the trails in it. So that's an example.
Okay, anything else? Any questions anybody wants to ask Liz? So is there a motion?
I move we approve.
You, Rick? And is there a second?
A second.
Okay, Martha? Any comments from the rest of the board? I think it's, you know, it's been money well spent. I think it's really encourage you to social media stuff, that you can get numbers and stuff instead of, you know, the radio and stuff. You can't really measure how beneficial that is, but you know, the hits and the Facebook stuff that, you know, the people to review, any and all that information is more concrete, that we can see that it's working,
Yes.
as opposed to the old fashioned, just kind of, you know, people are listening to it and not knowing. So that's been beneficial, the type of social media that does, you're able to, excuse me, measure.
And it's, you know, I think the biggest thing is that we're continuously branding Lowell. So, you know, overall, that's the goal. Lowell, Lowell, Lowell. Don't think about anybody but Lowell, right?
There's a recognition throughout, I think, West Michigan about how well our chamber performs and how our marketing reaches people too. I get those comments quite often.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, Christmas marketing.
Yep, this is our annual request for Christmas marketing. The request is for $7,000. It's $200 more than last year. I'm recommending approval for that. Liz can explain what that would entail.
Yeah, I provided you with a budget, kind of gives you an idea of what we do. I mean, it goes for cash prizes and lighting for the parade. It pays Mr. and Mrs. Claus's wages. We also have Woolbucks that we do give to our volunteers that go and pick up lights, return lights. Our photographer, we give them Woolbucks. The biggest expense probably though is the horse and carriage rides and the live reindeer. And as you know, we do that on one night, that's Friday night after the parade. And it's a great turnout. We get people from all over that come to that. And that's where that was a big increase in the, well, not big, $200, I guess it was. But of course, there was an increase in the live reindeer and the carriage rides this year. And then we put fresh garland on the boat, and we try to decorate along the Riverwalk. And this year I want to add that Lowell Light and Power is going to be doing all new lighting on the Christmas tree out front, which we've badly needed for a couple for years now. Our lights just, they give up the ghost really easy. So they're doing that purchase and they're doing that install, and that's why I put it down here in the in-kind, which is pretty generous of them to do. So I am asking for $7,000. I think I said in the letter that it's not really a moneymaker at all. It's just something that we put on for the community, and we've done it for years, and I think it's one of the highlights of the year for many people.
And the printout that I have doesn't have what some of the other donations to pay that $22,000. Some of that from the community fund.
No, it's
Just some of your.
well, it's kind of in kind. So, like for instance, the Lowell Showboat. You know, we use that space, and if we had to rent it, that's what it would cost, $4,200. And then our photographer does it all in kind. So I'm estimating these prices. It's probably low, you know, as compared to what's going on now.
Okay.
And then I put Lowell Light and Power, a couple $1,000,
Okay.
and staff and that sort of thing to do those things. Cookies.
Santa Claus actually gets paid?
Yes.
I thought he worked for cookies and milk.
Well, our Santa, we give him a stipend for his work.
So there's more than one Santa, is what you're saying?
No, there's really only one, and he lives right here in Lowell.
Oh,
This is a summer home, of course.
okay. Right, okay.
I want you to remember that.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
got to feed the reindeer too.
Right, I get it, yeah, I get that part.
What's that? Oh, that's true. He does pay Mrs. Claus. She puts up with a lot.
Okay, do we need a motion for that, $7,000 for the Christmas marketing?
Motion to approve.
Martha, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Lori, and any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, reports and member comments?
Thank you.
Yep, thanks, Liz.
The only thing I have to add is we did receive notice last week that Rita Reister resigned from the DA. So the mayor is in the process of filling that position.
Any other reports from board? Nicole, Martha, anything? No? Lunch.
We'll start doing that next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're safe enough now to do that again.
Good.
We've got
Okay.
I forgot about it. I was actually thinking about it for this one, and I totally forgot about it, so.
The only other thing I'll mention, Ben Baker had their open house that Rotary was at yesterday, so want to thank them for staying in Lowell. It's kind of trendy to have these car dealers way out on the expressway, so we were very fortunate. 2 locations they really spent a ton of money to improve, so hopefully we can kind of help them out as much as we can as far as looking for cars. Okay. A couple restaurants going to be opening up in town. Saber Mexicano, I probably said that wrong, and the old Serenity Club. I don't know if they've got a name, but that's pretty exciting to see some of the improvements that they're doing down there just through Main Street. And next time you go through ADA, I mean that's down the street. They're spending some big bucks down there, but it's really nice to have the history here in some of these old buildings. We're not going to be able to compete with maybe the ambiance of new buildings, but I'm pretty proud of our downtown that we've been able to maintain it and improve it. So
I like this ambiance better.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like this better than anyway, though.
yeah.
We've become a destination too. It's
Yeah.
growing.
Oh, yeah.
Just need to keep it growing.
Mhm.
Yeah, can I add something to that? So I get calls all the time for space. I've got 2 businesses that desperately would love to move into Lowell, but there is no space. And if there is a space, there's usually a reason there's a space, all right? So, and just traveling around Michigan, I like to take day trips, and I like to look at other downtowns that are comparable to Lowell. And man, we are way above all those other towns. And so you all should be proud of yourselves because it takes all of us to do this. And we have an amazing town community.
As long as you're out there, Liz, how many more days do you have?
I don't have that timer on, but I'll be done April 1st.
Okay, I didn't know, so I just want to thank you for
Yep.
all the work that you have
Oh, you're
done for
welcome.
the chamber and stuff, so.
We're gonna do some car shoes.
Yeah. What size are they? Shouldn't say that in public. Okay, so we need motion to adjourn.
The motion to adjourn.
Lori, is there a second?
I'll second.
Martha? Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed can stay here.